Hi there, welcome to Elm Colors. I'm Erica. On today's video, we're going to be going over all of the pages I've done in the month of March. So I've got several whips to share with you, a few completed pages, and yeah, so let's just get started. I'm going to start with my Creative Companion. I did not use this very much this month. Sometimes it's like that, and it's okay. But I'll show you kind of what I did. I mean, I really liked the layout was really cute. I liked all the little greenery that I drew in. But yeah, I didn't keep track of my coloring tracker at all this month, which is upsetting because I really liked that little layout too. And then I didn't do any of the coloring in the back. I still haven't got anything set up for April yet, so hopefully I can get myself motivated to do that here soon. But I'm going to use this because I do have some notes in here to help me with what I used on my pages. So I'm going to set this up here and we'll get started. Okay, so first I'm going to share with you the whips that I have. This one is one that I do want to finish. So this is A Million Unicorns. You guys probably saw me work on this in one of the weekend whips. And this is the page so far. I'm going to zoom you in just a little bit. I do really like the way that it's looking so far. Like this side is almost done. I still have to work on the carousel, but like the background is all done on this side. The little owls are done. I really like how they turned out. And I do like the way this is looking. I really enjoyed trying to work off of these inspiration images, and I think that it's going to look really nice. I still have all my supplies out, so I'm hoping to be able to work on that more. Now I did use a lot of Inktense on this book, or on this page. Let's see, where was this one printed? This one was printed in Canada. So it doesn't take the water quite as well. So it's very, very crinkly, but it worked decently well. It's not terrible, but it worked okay. And I can, you know, flatten that out over time and whatnot. So it should be fine, but yeah, it didn't bleed through. Oh, I take that back. It did a little bit in a couple spots. But that'll be easily covered. That's not a big deal. Yeah, this side didn't have any bleed through. This side had a little bit, but like I said, that'll be easily covered up. That's not hard to cover up. So, but yeah. Background so far is I've got Inktense as a base everywhere. Then I used some oil pastels to make this little shrub. Used some Black Widow pencils on these unicorns, and some paint pens here and there. So yeah, I like the way that that's going so far though. I think it'll be cute once it's all finished, and I do have plans to do that. So hopefully this will be showing up next month as a completed page. So yep, that's A Million Little Unicorns, or A Million Unicorns. Then I also have one in A Million Baby Animals. I started this one again with Inktense. This paper took it so much better, and this is a book that's printed in China. So I'm not sure why there's such a difference, but yeah, this is hardly buckled at all, and no bleed through. So yeah, I'm not sure what the difference is, but so yeah, so this is the page so far. I really like the way that this one's going to. This will be perfect spring page, I thought, with all these cute little baby animals and these neat birds kind of flying around everywhere. Just gotta keep going with the Inktense, and then I will add a little bit of shading probably with my colored pencils as well. So yeah, that's from A Million Baby Animals. Then I started just randomly yesterday, actually on Easter, I decided that I wanted to color a page in Botanicum, so I started this one. I didn't get to even get to the bunny yet, but I did have fun doing the leaves and the flowers. I really like the way the leaves turned out. I thought those turned out really cool. But yeah, so I think that'll be really nice once it's done. I just have to go back and work on it some more. Although I do have quite a few whips in this book, so we'll see if I get back to it or not. I do like it. So I'd like to finish it, but I don't know. I don't know how it's gonna go. But there is that one so far. So that's from Botanicum. And then I have two more. So I have one in Dream Garden, which this one is almost, oh no, this is the one that's not quite done. So this is one that I started for a color along. It was a really cool chess themed color along, and I thought that would be really neat to color. But so far it's just got a base of Inktense on there, and then I did use some Polychromos pencils to draw in like the little grass squares. And then I did a little bit of shading on here, but I didn't like the way that that was looking, so I think I'm going to end up probably using my Prismacolors. And then I have all my notes here on how I want everything else to go. So yeah, I liked the way this was starting, or this started, and I just want to finish it because I think it'll be really cool once it's all done. But it's not done yet, so there's that one, and that's from Dream Garden. And then the next one is one that I recently posted on my stories. I tried to ask for help in deciding what color to do something, and it still is not finished because I haven't made the decision. So the voting was to determine what I should do with these little swirls of colory bits around here. So I had the options for blue, I had an option for metallic gold, and then I also put in an option for cream. Now the blue and the metallic gold tied, but the cream was one that was voted on by a couple of people that I really love their coloring, and so it just kind of made me stop and think about what I actually wanted to do. I think I probably will go with the cream, even though the other two got more votes, but I can just see it now with the cream in there, and I think it'll be pretty. But anyway, so I had this really cool inspiration image, and then I just decided to kind of do my best to replicate. I thought that turned out really cool. So yeah, so I just have to finish that bit. So you'll definitely see that next month in completed pages, because that'll take me, I mean, that won't take me very long at all to finish it up. But I do like the way that it's going so far. I did leave a couple of the images, like the hidden images, uncovered too. So like these three little pieces right here. Most everything else I covered up, which you can still see it. Like you can see specifically like right here, you can still see it really well. Right up here, there was a weird dolphin just in the in the sky. Just, but yeah, when you just look at the whole thing and everything's colored, those are not things that you're going to focus on. So, yeah, but I like the way that turned out so far. So that's from Mythographic Paradise, and that one will be finished soon. So that's all the whips. So that's not too bad. And then I have a few completed pages, not as many as I would have liked to have gotten done, but just had kind of an off month this month. So first up in Enchanted Faces, I am trying to finish this book, and this is also a book that I'm working on with a lovely group of ladies. You can check out Enchanted Faces group on Instagram to see everybody's beautiful pages. And these were the pages for this month. So the first one was this lovely lady, which I think she turned out really pretty. Yeah, I started with pink hair, and she had a little bit more pink skin, so I really played into that whole pink tone, and then had the blue in the background for the sky and the water, and yeah, just really like it. Pink and purple all the way. I think it's pretty. And then the other one was this one. And this one, which I just thought was so pretty. A couple of the ladies in the group did this one as well, and I really liked the way they did the little background, I don't know, ground shapes or whatever it is back there. I thought they did like the blue water, and then this was like darker blue, so that it was like a shadow in the water, which I thought was such a good idea. But I just did all mine brown. But I do have a little bit of gold on the border, on her tail, all of these leaves and stuff. Kind of thought that she looked like a Grecian mermaid, I guess. So I made this like this toga wrap thing, kind of Nice and creamy colors. But yeah. And that is that for that book. Really liked coloring in that this month. Next we have my pages that I did in Furballs. The first one I did was the spring, the spring page, which I thought this turned out so cute. I love that little lamb. He's just adorable. This is all done with Inktense, a little bit of Posca. Yeah, just had fun with it. I think it's a good page. Really enjoyed coloring that one. And then this next one was one that they picked out for there's a color along on Instagram just for this book, and this was the page they picked out for that this month. I really like the way that this turned out. I liked the background, and then I did this dog to look like a Great Pyrenees, because that's the kind of dogs that my mom has. She has 3 of them, and they're giant, big, fluffy goofballs. And that's kind of what this guy looked like, so I went with that. And then I did draw in a couple of little 4-leaf clovers for St. Patrick's Day, since it was March. That's literally all I did for any kind of holiday coloring this month, was adding this little 4-leaf clovers. That's it. But yeah, so that is that. That's all the pages I did in Furballs this month, just those 2. So that is a wonderful, wonderful book. This one is one that I finished in Steampunk Special. I think this was a whip last month, and I just finished this one up. So this one, I really like the way that this looks. Zoom out a little. I used alcohol markers in the background, and then Prismacolors on top. Used a little bit of gold sparkle pop pen, and then also a nice gold paint, metallic paint on the border, and then on the clock and her little choker. Yeah, I just thought she was cute. Really like the way her little freckles turned out in her eyes. Thought that was cute. Yeah, thought that was a good one. I really like this book. It's a cute book. Now this is the one from Coloring Heaven, but she also does have a Steampunk Darlings book that has a lot of these same pages in it. There are a few, like this one, for example, that are exclusive to Coloring Heaven, but most of these other ones you can get in that Steampunk Darlings book. So yeah, love this. Love the way it turned out. So that's that one. That's by Hannah Lynn, by the way. Okay, so now on to my buddy colors. This first one was my buddy color in 50 Farmers Miniatures. This is a buddy color with the wonderful Disney Megs coloring, and we chose the duck page today, or this month. I'll put Megan's up on screen here. I really love the way both of these turned out. I love that Megan, she used, she made hers white, and I think she said she thought she made it a swan before she realized that maybe it was a duck, but I think it's beautiful. I think the white works just as well. I went back and forth about whether I should make this look like a boy mallard or not, but I figured we'll just make it look like a girl duck. so that was my plan, my idea. But yeah, I love coloring in this book. Already picked out the next one for next month. So thanks, Megan, for coloring with me as always. I used a mix of alcohol markers, and let's see, what did I use for this one? I didn't write it down. Probably Prismacolors. I'm pretty sure. Pretty sure I did. Yeah, that feels right. And then a little bit of Posca here and there. Yep. I just thought the little duckies turned out cute. I'll hold it up a little bit closer so you can see, but just a basic kind of bokeh effect in the background. I did use a colorless blender to blend all of that pencil work in the background, and then just like a little bits and pieces here and there for some shading and some texture on the ducks and the flower. But yeah, really like that one. Love how it turned out. Excited for next month. This one was a buddy color with the wonderful Jordy from Jordy Colors, and we picked out this page, and I will put Jordy's up on screen here too. Really like the way this turned out. It was a really fun one to do. I love that our palettes are so different, but they're still both, like they're both, I don't know, I just like both of them. I like the way that Jordy has the blue in her background. It makes all the other colors really pop. Yeah, just had a lot of fun coloring with her, and I'm hoping that we can do some more buddy colors in the future. So thanks for coloring with me, Jordy. On mine, I did do a base. I think I might have worked on this one on a weekend whip as well. I did a lot of the basing with markers, just regular water-based markers, and then all of the colored pencil details probably were done with Prismacolors. I did a lot of work with Prismacolors this month. Yeah, and I just like it. So my color palette was based on this room here that I saw that I thought was really cool. And then I saw these cute little huts, and I was like, well, that's perfect for this little hut. And then of course these, are they protea flowers? Protea, I don't know how to say it. But they were kind of on here. So I was like, oh, well, we'll just use some pinks. And yeah, just had a really fun time with that. I like the way this turned out a lot. Super cute page. I'm glad to finally have something colored in this book because I had nothing colored in this yet. So yeah, super excited to have one done in here. So yeah, so that is my buddy color with Jordy from Rita Berman's Africa book. Next, this is a buddy color with the wonderful Poet from Poet Spice. We did this page, and I'll put Poet's up on screen here. I really liked Poet's very earthy color palette, and her marker work is awesome as always. Just really had a lot of fun. I'm glad we were able to get a couple of buddy colors done in books that I didn't really have a lot of pages done on. So that was really helpful. Thanks so much, Poet, for coloring in this book, and then last month we had one too that I hadn't colored in. So yeah, it's been really helpful. Thank you so much for coloring with me. On my page, I did a base of Inktense, and then I went over top of it with my Prismacolors. Now, I did do quite a bit of Inktense, so you can see the paper is awfully buckly. So this one I probably wouldn't use my Inktense in again. Some of the Mythographics work really well, some of them are a little less so. This one I ended up not liking as the bumpiness of the page afterwards. That kind of bugged me, but it did really help like make these birds really pop. So this color palette was also highly inspired by these two little images that I found. I tried to base the background off of this, so that's why it's all weird and patchy background, like different weird colors popping in, and then these little birds were kind of the color inspiration for my birds. And then I have some stickles on the crystals in the middle. Yeah, just really liked coloring this, and I'm happy to have another page done, or one page. Is it my first page? This might be my first page in this one too. Yes, I think it is. I have another buddy color coming up in this book, but yeah, this was my first page in Aviary for Mythographic. This book is one of the ones that I think is just absolutely stunning. So yeah, happy to get some work done in it. So yeah, so that's Aviary from Joseph Kattenbang. This is my last buddy color. This one was done with Jen from Jen's Coloring Corner. I think that's the right one. So bad, I cannot remember people's channel names. I'm sorry, Jen, if I messed that up. But we decided to color this. So I'll put Jen's up on screen too. We both had a lot of trouble trying to figure out what to do with this light. Like, we were trying to figure out if this was going to be our only light source, like how the light would bounce off of it. And then I kind of started looking, and like the circle that was drawn around the lantern went in front of the hedgehog, but the light was behind the hedgehog. So I was like, I'm not sure what's happening. So it was really a big struggle. And you guys, I did do a video about the background here, which I got a lot of feedback about. I know that I was being particularly hard on myself, but really talking through that with you guys while I was working on it really helped me to come to terms with it. So I appreciate that. But yeah, so on Jen's, I really liked her gems on her hedgehog. I thought the different colors that were all mixed in there was really cool, and the way that the light is highlighted on there, I think that's a really cool thing when you have like that yellow light source, that you can make those highlights show up, and it really kind of emphasizes the fact that that's the only light source. I think that's really cool. Yeah, and Jen picked out this page. I think Jen picked this one out. I think we had a couple different ones. Oh yes, I had suggested another, and she came back with us and was like, yeah, sure, let's do that one. And then we were both like, we don't know what to do. But we both got it done, and both turned out really cool. So thanks, Jen, for this challenge and this experience to learn a little bit with my coloring. I appreciate you coloring with me. I can't wait to color again with you. So this one, I did do some alcohol marker work. Let's see, a lot of alcohol marker work, and that's where I was kind of discouraged in some of the background work that I did, but I was able to fix it enough with colored pencils and Posca and all kinds of stuff, and I think it looks okay. I really like my crystals, all the different crystals, and I like my little dark fairy. I figured since he was underground that he would look kind of like a dark elf from like D&D and stuff. And then I really liked the color choices for my hedgehog here. I did find some, so these were the inspiration images, and none of that made it on there really. But then these cute little hedgehogs, I really liked this one, so I kind of went with that color scheme for the crystals and the fur. But look how cute those little hedgehogs are. But I literally just typed in crystal hedgehog in Pinterest, and that's what came up. Yeah, and then I have some stickles on the light. I did also use the Neo Color 2 around the inside of the light, so that kind of is what makes it look, that's what's creating those lines like around the circle of the lantern. And then did some stickles on the wings here too, and then tons of Posca on all of the crystals. And then lots of paint pens and stuff in the background. So yeah, but this one's one of my favorites, I think, this month. I really like the way this one ended up turning out, even though I was struggling with it so much. Yeah, this one's one of the ones I like the best. So that's from Fairy Wonderland from Mythographic. And then last but not least is my page in Spirit Animals. So you guys saw this last month as a whip, and I did finish it. And I really like the way that it ended up looking, and it's this page. This one got a lot of love on Instagram too, and I'm just glad everybody really liked it. I did end up using quite a bit of, I'm hoping you'll be able to see some of the sparkle and shine. I do have quite a bit of stickles on some of the flowers down here. I have some rose gold stickles on like the centers of these hearts, and like some of the dots around this little headpiece thing. I did use some metallic rose gold paint to go around this little piece, around the earrings, around the heart, some on the birds. I just really had so much fun doing this page, even though this one is one that took me like years because I just stopped. Like I did the background and a couple of little bits and pieces, and then I just stopped. But you know, this is one that I thought maybe I would never come back to and finish, and I did. And so, you know, don't ever completely give up on your whips, even if they're here and waiting for you to finish them for years. Like there's always a chance that you'll come back and do them. So don't get too discouraged with your ability to finish a page or not, which is kind of what I'm doing for all of those other pages that I started this month. Oh, and then I did do a little bit of paint splatter with the metallic watercolor around the background too. I don't know if you guys will be able to see that or not, but yeah, really love the way this one turned out. This one was a lot of people's favorites. So yep, there we go. So that's all my pages for the month. I like I said, not as many done as I would have liked, but I still think it was a pretty productive month. And yeah, that's it really for me today. Thank you guys so much for being here. Let me know what your favorite page was in the comments below. I'd love to hear. And until next time, I'll see you later. Bye.